Oven roasted potatoes is amazing. They are a lot like French fries with a lot less calories, a lot less saturated fat, and just full of flavor, crispy on the outside, tender and soft on the inside. Here are the ingredients on how we make them, and I'll include a link below with nutrition information and more details, but I'll also show you how you can customize this for any flavor that you like. Preheat your oven to 350 or 180°C. You're going to need a cookie sheet, and if it's not non-stick, you're going to have to spray it. You cannot just rely on the oil will stick to the pan. If it is a non-stick pan, do not spray it. You want to rinse and dry off 2 medium-sized potatoes, about 290 grams total. You can leave the skin on or you can peel it. These potatoes are on a little soft, so I'm going to go ahead and peel them off. And this knife is not very sharp, so I'm going to be smart and I'm going to get the potato peeler and do it that way. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch this whole process, but if you've never peeled a potato before, I recommend getting a vegetable peeler. It's a lot safer and it's easier to use once you get the hang of it. And you use a lot less skin is removed. So once you get this all peeled, if you're peeling them, you're going to get a paper towel, dry off your hands, dry off the potatoes because they're naturally going to release some dampness and you don't want to slip and cut yourself in the next step. So this is just a good way to just be a little safe in the kitchen. And dry off your cutting board surface if you were using it to hold your peelings. Once you got that done, you're going to go get you a sharp knife and we're going to quarter this into about a ½ inch, maybe 1.25 centimeters cubes. And then we're going to go to the next step. Because these are round, you want to make sure that you are safe when you're cutting this. Look for any blemishes first, and if you see any blemishes, cut them away from you and keep your hands clean and clear of the knife. Again, I'm just looking for any blemishes and I'm going to cut those away first. And then what you want to do when you're working with anything round is create yourself a flat surface. If you don't do that, you're at risk of cutting yourself more when it slides. So now that it is cut into half like this, we are just going to repeat it for the second potato and see how firm it is. Now you can safely cube this potato into any size you want. And you also can cut these in strips if you like to make them look like French fries. I just like the cube style better. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing, but I'll show you again how you can dice this. You just cut it in half, then cut it in half again the other way, turn it, and then just keep your hands clean from the knife and cut it. Once you have these all cubed or sliced any way that you like them, get you a plastic bag and put in 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of oil. You can also use a bowl if you don't want to waste a plastic bag. I just find this is a lot easier and quicker to clean up. Toss them all in, and then you're going to zip it up and you're going to toss the potatoes around till they're well coated in that oil, and then we're going to add in the spices. Now, if you don't like the spices I'm listing, feel free to just use salt and pepper or nothing at all. Change it any way you like. You can put some Parmesan in there, some garlic, whatever. For this recipe, I'm using 1 teaspoon of paprika, 3 grams, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, that's 2 grams, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, that's 2 grams, 1/4 teaspoon of mustard powder, 1 gram, and 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, that's 1 gram. You can add anything you like. I actually threw in some extra pepper. I used some chipotle pepper, which I think just makes it a little bit more spicy. You could put in some red peppers, whatever you like. Zip it up, toss it around just like this. It only takes a few minutes once you get it really coated. When I say a few minutes, I actually mean a few seconds. You're going to get that cookie sheet and you're going to spread them out evenly, and then just make sure that they're not touching each other, because if they touch each other, they can't get really crispy. So if they do touch each other, they just won't be as crispy on those sides. Not a big deal. But if you want them crispy all throughout, try to spread them out a little bit. Now, if you're using the really spicy peppers in this mix, then make sure to rinse your hands off afterwards, because it will tend to burn your face if you touch it. Don't ask me how I know. Okay, we have arranged this pretty good, and the next thing is to put it in the oven for 30 minutes, and then we're going to take them out and then turn them over so they get even browning on both sides, and then we're going to pop them back in the oven for another 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how done you want them and how crispy you want them. I found an hour and 15 minutes is plenty. Sometimes I go an hour and a half if I really want them crispy. It doesn't take a lot of time and effort at all to do this, and this is a great way to have the French fried taste without the fat and the calories, and it's just so much better for you. I found that once I started making these, I quit making French fries completely. We don't even buy French fries in anymore. Once they're out of the oven completely, I like to put the salt on at this time, about a teaspoon worth, a little bit more, a little bit less. That's 5 grams. And you could just not put it on at all and let each person put as much salt as they like if they have dietary restrictions. And then we just plate it up to make it look pretty, and they stay crispy for about a good half hour, hour tops. So they're really good to make ahead and then go ahead and cook whatever else you're making with it. And that is it. Look how beautiful these are. Rich golden brown, wonderfully crispy, soft and tender on the inside. This is jacksonsjob.com. As always, happy baking.